Hello and welcome to another edition of HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. Eric, we're almost at the final week of the season. We've got 2 more to go. Some big matchups this week. Let's start with the Battle of Menifee, Heritage versus Paloma Valley. What do you got for me?
You know, Heritage has never lost a game in the Menifee Bowl so far. They're 4-0 in these matchups, and they look pretty strong. You know, they had a little bit of a scare last week against Temesco Canyon. The offense didn't get quite rolling there, and pulled out a 14-6 win. But I think Heritage is kind of rolling right now. They have the longest 11-man winning streak in the state right now, and I think this is a game they get motivated for. So I kind of like them right now to keep the Menifee Bowl trophy over there in Heritage. So.
Absolutely. You look at a team like Heritage, and like I say with Vista Murrieta and Centennial, can't really pick against them until they lose. Moving on now, we have another big game, La Sierra versus Norte Vista. This is the battle of the top 2 teams in the River Valley League. We know all about Novi. La Sierra has actually been pretty good this year, though.
Yeah, La Sierra definitely has a good 1-2 punch with quarterback Derek Cruz and running back Jordan McCoy. But as we've seen both with Norte Vista games, the Braves just run the ball at will, and with their dynamic combination of Freddie Holly and Andrew Martinez, it's going to be hard to see La Sierra slowing them down right now. I think Norte Vista kind of rolls in this one. They're definitely looking like a real strong title contender right now.
For me, Norte Vista, they've won every game by 3 touchdowns. If La Sierra can finish within that margin, I think it's a win for them. Moving on now, we have another game set down in the south, Chaparral, Vista Murrieta. Chaparral we thought would be great when the season opened. Hasn't turned out that way, but Vista Murrieta looks like they've turned a corner from a rough non-league go.
Yeah, we definitely thought at the beginning of the year that this was going to be a potential league title showdown, but Vista Murrieta, again, has taken control of the Southwestern League. Kyle Williams has settled into that quarterback spot. When he started, he's a natural receiver who was kind of forced into that quarterback role. And, they're actually, at the beginning of the year, he was just running the ball. That's all they kind of had confidence in. Now they're throwing the ball. He's thrown for 200 yards, more than 200 yards in each game. So they're getting to use their big weapons like Jamie Nunley and some of those receivers. So, Vista Murrieta, I think, kind of has turned it around, and they're looking very strong right now.
They really are. You mentioned adding that element of a passing game. Their receiving core is really one of the best around with Baker and Nunley. I would be really curious to see them play Orange Lutheran now. I'm not saying they'd win, but I don't think they lose 37-3. The last game, Norco Santiago, battle in the Big 8. Winner's probably going to be second place in the league. Who you got in this one? I think it's a toss-up.
It's been a toss-up. You kind of look, over the years, this has always been a shootout, but we expected it last year, and Norco rolled in this game behind Corey Young. He's not there, but as we've seen right now, Santiago's still having trouble with stopping running teams right now. And we know one thing Norco can do with Victor Veramanis and Gavin Hughes is run the football very well. I think it goes either way. Blake Barnett can keep his team in a game, but I think Norco's running game is going to be enough to pull this one out.
For me, what I really want to see once again is Santiago's defense step up. We've talked about it repeatedly. They keep not performing up to par, and they're going to have to. I will say this for Norco. Everyone was ready to say, oh, the Chuck Chastain era hasn't been, what we hoped for. They're 3-0 in league. I mean, there's a very good chance that they'll be right back where Norco always is, which is 4-1 and right there in the top half of the Big 8. They got to win this one. I think if they do, all of a sudden the Chuck Chastain era goes from iffy start to successful first season.
Yeah, and I think that's just been the tale of Norco this year has been, can they put together 4 good quarters? And if they do that this week, I think they win and, could set up a title showdown with Centennial.
We'll find out if it happens. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in to another edition of HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.